What if the fate of Egypt itself depended on a single, endless battle between gods? Welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to do something different. We are going to take all of Egyptian mythology and squeeze it into one video. And no, I'm not talking about the time when the Greeks came in and stole all of their ideas. This is going to be ancient Egyptian mythology in 10 minutes. So let's get started. First, some names, and then we'll get into the good stuff. Horus is the name of a falcon-headed god who rules the sky during the day and is frequently shown with two very important things, the sun and the pharaoh's crown. He's the god of kingship and also happens to be the favorite son of Osiris, the lord of the underworld. Set, on the other hand, is the god of chaos, storms, and violence, often shown as a bull or an elephant, and is the epitome of everything Horus stands against. He's hot-tempered and quick to violence, which makes sense because he's also the god of deserts and storms, both unforgiving landscapes. Now, he's not all bad, though. In fact, he's actually married to one of the most popular goddesses of the Egyptian pantheon, Nephthys. Together, they have a son named Anubis, the god who weighs your heart at the afterlife and decides whether or not you get to go to the field of reeds or get thrown into the fiery abyss. That's right. Even Satan has nice ideas every now and then. So these two were brothers. Why does that matter? Because one day Set decided to murder his own brother. Don't worry, I'll explain. See, the thing is, Osiris had 4 sons. 2 of them were twins. There was Horus, the eldest, who would rule Egypt, and Set, the second eldest, who would rule the desert. Then there was Anubis, the middle child, who would inherit the role of guiding souls in the afterlife. And finally, there was Nephthys, the youngest, who would become a goddess of magic and protection. But here's where things get tricky. While Nephthys was Osiris's daughter, she was also Set's wife. Not only that, she was also Set's full sister, which isn't technically incest because they're not actually related. Just think of it like this. You know how Thor is friends with Loki even though Loki is his evil brother? Well, imagine if they were married. That kind of weird. Anyway, one day Osiris threw a party and invited all of his children except for Set, who didn't get invited because he was busy murdering people. So Osiris took that opportunity to pass the throne of Egypt to Horus, but Set wanted what was rightfully his, and so he waited until Horus fell asleep, then chopped off his balls. I mean, come on, that's messed up. But don't worry, because Horus wasn't done yet. After mourning the loss of his manhood, Horus went to live with his mother, Isis, who happened to be the greatest sorceress in all of Egypt. With her help, he eventually grew up to be a fierce warrior and king, ready to take his rightful place on the throne. But first, he needed to avenge his father's castration. So, with Isis's help, he lured Set into a giant metal coffin, chopped him into pieces, and threw his body into the river. Of course, Set wasn't actually dead. In fact, he would go on to become a major god in the Egyptian pantheon, but not before being chopped to pieces by his brother and nearly drowning in the Nile River. After winning this first battle, Horus and Set never stopped fighting. For the next 40 days, Horus chased Set around the entire earth, destroying cities and corrupting nature wherever he went. During this chase, Horus's shoe flew off and landed in the city of Byblos, where it was picked up by a woman who gave it to her son, Baccha. Little did he know, this shoe belonged to the god Horus, and when Baccha put it on, he gained incredible powers. With these new powers, Baccha defeated the local bully, King Ropati, and reclaimed a magical staff that had been stolen from his father. From there, he ruled the land of Byblos with wisdom and justice, eventually becoming one of the most powerful rulers in the entire Mediterranean. At some point during the endless fighting, Horus and Set made a bet. They agreed to meet up in the city of Byblos to settle their differences once and for all. Before the fight began, they made Baccha swear an oath to remain neutral and not interfere. But while they were fighting, Set used his shape-shifting abilities to transform into a fly and escape. Then he went straight to Baccha, begging him to help. Horus saw this and thought that Baka was siding with Set, so he unleashed a bolt of lightning that split the staff clean in half. When Baka realized what had happened, he immediately regretted siding with Set. So he called out Horus for breaking the sacred staff and violating the sanctity of Byblos. This caused Horus to rethink his decision, realizing that he had made a mistake. He apologized to Baka, mended the staff, and renewed their alliance. And together they defeated Set, once and for all. Okay, maybe not. They fought for a long time, so I'm just gonna skip to the end of it. Ultimately, Horus triumphed over Set, but Set still remained an important god in the Egyptian pantheon, representing the forces of chaos and destruction that lurked beneath the surface of the world. This may seem like a simple story about good triumphing over evil, but it really represented a much deeper concept for the ancient Egyptians. It was a symbol of the eternal struggle between chaos and order, darkness and light, death and rebirth, which they believed occurred not only on a cosmic scale but also within the human soul. By understanding this myth, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the ancient Egyptian worldview and the timeless power of storytelling. As for Horus, his victory over Set ensured the continuation of order and stability in the universe, allowing life to flourish and the sun to shine each day. His rule over Egypt symbolized the pharaoh's divine right to rule and the importance of maintaining harmony between the living and the dead. Without Horus, the Egyptians believed that their world would dissolve into chaos and darkness, which is why they worshipped him as a savior and a bringer of light. Now, this isn't the only fight that Horus and Set got into, but it is the most legendary. So, if you want to hear about the time that Horus turned into a crocodile, you'll just have to tune in next week. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave us a comment about what mythological battle you want to hear next. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.